What is up, guys? I'm hoping that you're good. So we've got one more repair. I think I'll probably do this repair and then I'll go home. It's pretty late now. Wait, it's still 6. Oh, it's winter. It gets dark early. Anyways, this is an Acer Aspire 1, no power. Like a charger. The DC power supply is plugged in over there. It's drawing nothing at all. So this customer requested that if we can fix the motherboard, then we'll have to deal with the hinges as well as the screen. So just gonna take the bezel off because you can see it's not sitting in a comfortable position at all. So then we'll see from there. Okay, that was flux. Anyways, yeah, let's check this device out. How do we go about with this? I think I'll open it up at the back and then there's no screws at all. Just remove the screen cable as well as the network cables. Do I see any burn marks on it? I do not. Let's take off the battery cable, network cables. Yeah, but I don't think this repair is worth recording for a reason that I'm gonna explain now. Okay, charging port has been fixed. I'm pretty sure the charging port is an issue. Let's see if we're getting 19 volts coming in. So there's a 4 gig RAM inside. There is no hard drive and there is no SSD. Let's see. This is suggesting that someone has been here. Definitely someone has been here poking around. Look at that. We've got 19 volts coming in. Got 19 volts coming in. There's something that I know is supposed to happen with these particular charging ports. They're supposed to have another 19 volts coming somewhere here. Let me just check if that is my ground. Yeah, this is not ground. This is ground. This is not ground. There's supposed to be 19 volts that comes here, which then goes to enable the PQ chip, which will manage to switch on these MOSFETs. So these MOSFETs, the one has been removed, the one ahead. Let me just check if I've got a short circuit up ahead, because if we've got a short circuit, then I'm pretty sure the PQIC will stop any power coming in. Let me see. Yeah, this MOSFET seems fine. The second MOSFET. So I'm pretty sure this is someone who was trying to work on this device and they couldn't figure out what is happening. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can. I think there's a problem with my light, man. I don't have a lot of light on this PCB. I have to deal with that. So let's see. So remember, we do have 19 volts coming in by the DC in jack. Do we have it coming into the PQ chip? So which one is it? Which one is supposed to be supplying it with power? I'm just checking the corners to see if I've got 19 volts coming in anywhere. So we do not have any power coming into the PQ chip. So yeah, possibly our issue is coming from here. Let me see if I can fit that 19 volts here. Okay, can't do that. Just check if I've got a short circuit around there. I know that is ground. No, that is not ground. I'm pretty sure from here, somewhere it has to come here. Wait, I heard that. Didn't I? There it is. There. So this is the 19 volts that comes to enable this PQ chip. There. So I'm supposed to get a 19 volts that comes here to enable that PQ chip. So it is only on this pin. It's pin number 2 actually. Let's zoom in so that you can be able to check it out. So there, pin number 2 on this. Which is coming over here. So it comes via these resistors here. So that's ground and that's the 19 volts. So I'm not sure why we are not getting anything. Let's check if we have another short circuit, maybe up ahead. On the battery connector we're fine. Main power rail we seem to be fine. Seem to be okay. Let me check the secondary power rails if we've got a short on any of the coils, because I'm pretty sure if let's check around the BIOS chip, we are okay. I'm pretty sure if we plug a battery with power onto this motherboard, it will switch on. So yeah, this is suggesting that we have got a faulty charging port. Give me a minute to find a charging port for this and we replace it and see how it goes. Yep. Okay, cool. Hi, I'm back. So I've taken the board out of the chassis. Yeah, turns out I've got an issue with the hinge because the screws are just rolling, they're not going out. Anyways, not a big issue. We've got ourselves some flux here. I don't know how flux got here. I'm assuming that it came from someone who was replacing, say, this second MOSFET, because it's been replaced, as well as the charging port. But the charging port, you couldn't replace it without actually taking it off. Yeah. So having a look at the board view though, board view here, that's the DC in jack. So remember what I said, that's ground, and that's ground. This is the only positive that's there, going to PL or whatever, going to the first MOSFET, PQP3. Anyways, this other pin number 3, it goes to PQ10, PQ101, and that is called ADAP detect, so adapter detect. So like I said, that's for detecting the charger. And then we've got ground and we've got that pin which goes AC detect. If you follow it, it comes to pin number 2 over here is AC detect. So which means I was right about that one. So yeah, let's change the charging port because we don't have any voltage over here. We do have 19 volts over here, but we don't have any voltage over here, which means that AC detect is not getting to the PQ chip. So let me clip this guy over here, then we can change the DC check for this motherfucker. Alright, so if you do focus over there, you can clearly see that someone has been, kind of messing around there. Anywho, the other issue that I'm seeing is I'm not so sure if the charging port was put the right side up. It may have been put upside down, because it fits either way. But because it fits either way, it doesn't mean that it will function the same on either side, because remember, one side is ground, the other side is AC detect. Let's see. I think I may have to zoom out a little bit. Yeah, that gives me room to actually be able to put the hot in. There we go. Charging port is off. I've brought a donor laptop that I can take the parts from, and now I don't see how to do it. This is our donor PC. The DC jack has never been touched, so yeah, we can prep from here. The laptop was liquid damaged in this case. So none of the items work here. Maybe the battery, but it does also seem a little bit swollen, so yeah. Just waiting to be used maybe as a casing, because the keyboard, we've already checked it out, it doesn't work. It's got a couple of keys that are not working. Right, so I'll start by adding a little bit of flow melt solder to loosen up things over here. Yo, I'll need that flag switch is in a case. This tube fell and it got close to my, what is it called, it got close to my heater, so it kept being heated up. So I'll just put this flux over here, I'll use it later on. Right, let's take this charging port off. Right. So we are, let me just see first. By orientation, this charging port was sitting like this, facing up. So let me just make sure that I'm gonna put it the right way that side. So this is ground, this should be AC detect. Really? Yeah, that's AC detect. And that is ground, and this is our positive. Positive, ground, AC detect, ground, ground. Which means if I'm gonna put it facing up over here, that is not the case. So if I flip it upside down like this, that becomes ground, that becomes AC detect and positive, so it's fine. If I'm gonna put it like this, then I have to flip it like this in order to match the orientation that it was in. So I can always use solder sucker to open up the holes on this, but I can always just preheat the board like this, then bring the charging port. There we go, and it's in. All it has to do is cool down and solidify, which I can do by just blowing in my mouth and it'll be fine. There we go. What happens now when I plug the charger? Ah, it's doing something. Look at that. Okay, just pop. Now there we go. I'm pretty sure it's ready to start. Let's see. Let's see what's happening. I'm pretty sure we're done now with this. Oh, come on. 19 volts coming in. 19 volts on the main power rail. So we've got 19 volts coming in over there. We've got 19 volts on the main power rail. We should be getting 24.9 there. Some over here, 24.9. What do we get over there? That's funny. Still on 0 over here. And now we've got 2 point something volts on the output. Interesting. So AC detectors don't have to be in a high voltage really. Anyways, it turns out it was just a charging port on this one. Let me put it back in the chassis and try to fire up the motherboard. This video is unnecessarily long. I still have to sit down and think about that AC detector. I strongly believe that it's supposed to be high, coming this side to the PQ chip. Anywho, let's plug the AC adapter. I've got the keyboard on there. I forgot to plug this ribbon which goes to the LEDs. And try to fire it up. There we go. Starting. Like the fan. And see we've got a fan spin. So you can see over there it's drawing 400, 500 milliamps. This is working. This has been fixed. So let me see if I can just plug the screen to check the display on this device before I continue with quoting the customer. They may need to replace the display assembly. Here's the LCD. Right, AC adapter. AC adapter plugged over there. Fire it up. Okay, so the motherboard is on. That's the cooling fan over there just making noise. So you can see the fan is still spinning. Do we get display? Because I'm not sure if we've got a faulty screen or a faulty display cable. Could be one of the two. But it's still jumping up and down on the power supply, so I'm assuming it's still gonna display. So I'm gonna give it a few more minutes or seconds. Okay, it shut down, so I think it's looping. It's back on, so just give it a few seconds and it'll probably display if we don't have a problem with the screen or the screen cable. I just want to confirm so that I can quote the customer once off. I'm not entirely sure how many times it's going to loop. Okay, I think it's gonna loop this time, okay. Because I can hear the fan ramping up to maximum, so here comes the third time, but it's taking too long to loop now. Okay, that was quick. Oh, it's back on. just display already? Oh, there we go. Acer. It's got picture. Alright, and it's even loading the OS. So this is fixed, guys. Yeah, I'm hoping that you enjoyed the video. I will see you in another video. We will invoice the customer for the dead motherboard charging port replacement, and then we will invoice them again for repairing the hinges and the bezel. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will see you in another video. Cheers and goodbye.